My name is Bruce Zawalsky. I am author of Canadian Wilderness Survival and Chief Instructor of the Boreal Wilderness Institute. And today I would like to talk about how we collect wood for a real fire in the boreal forests or mountains. If you like this kind of life-saving survival information, please like this video and subscribe to my channel so you can give it the full support that it is. And if you do that, I will keep bringing out this excellent, high quality in the wilderness material for you. So what I want to talk about again today is how to collect wood for a fire. And this video is really part 3 of a video that I've already done on collecting a twig bundle and building a twig bundle. So that was the first 2 steps, but in reality, the first thing I do is collect the wood I need for the night, because I don't want to have a fire going and then have to run back and collect wood. So when I'm collecting wood, it's a 2-step process. It's the wood to get the fire going and get the coal bed up and get the fire really stable and functional, especially in bad weather. And the second step would be collecting the wood I would require for the entire overnight. So the first thing I would do is collect a dozen pencil thick, a dozen finger thick, and a dozen thumb thick sticks. Now, that pile there is literally what I did. So I don't bother running around trying to collect fancy bundles. Like you saw when I put this in with the burning twig bundle, I dropped the 36 sticks on top. And this is the massive wood I want. And my choice, like I mentioned in the earlier videos, is spruce. In this case, this is white spruce, and it's collected from the bottom or the understory of a large evergreen tree. So you can see back there some of those twigs hanging down. That's the understory. So this was really simple to collect. So these 36 sticks took me maybe 5 minutes at most. I didn't bother to do anything fancy with them. I jumble them up, I mix the sizes and types, and I leave the small twigs intact like on the twig bundle so they'll burn better. And literally once the twig bundle's burning, I drop these 36 sticks into the fire. That's step 1, right? I light the twig bundle, those go on top, boom, I have a waist-high fire. At that point, the next size up is wrist thick sticks. So there's my wrist thick stick, and again, these are going to get longer. If I can make them elbow to fingertip long, that's a little short, but that'll work. And I'm putting these on 2 at a time. So putting 2 of these logs on. As soon as the first 2 go and they start to burn, the next 2 go on, and the next 2. So it means at the beginning of your fire, you're burning a lot of this small wood. It is really going to build up a coal base, and it's going to get your fire going really, really well. Then I'm going to collect a dozen of these, which is wrist thick sticks, right? So there it is. Wrist thick sticks, bigger, and then this one you'll see actually elbow to fingertip in length, right? So this is the right length because I collected these, and this was actually part of a pair of them. And then finally, a dozen leg thick sticks. By the time I'm getting up to this 10-centimeter diameter here, these logs will last about an hour. So I will put 2 of those on at a time. If I can get a 20-centimeter log, it'll last 2 hours. A 30-centimeter log, 3 hours. The problem with a 30-centimeter log is my 50-centimeter or 21-inch bow saw for you Americans. My ability to cut a 20-centimeter log is all right. My ability to cut a 30-centimeter log is unlikely because I would literally have no sway. The reason a saw works so well is it works down, and then it's the pull back that gives you all the motion and all the effect that allows this tool to work. And it will cut through a log like this, a 10-centimeter log, with 1/4 of the calories of an axe. That's why it's so efficient. That's why in reality, frontiersmen, as we talk about, always took bow saws with them. They had axes in all the pictures and the paintings because it looked cool. But that didn't mean they didn't use bow saws and they didn't take bow saws. This tool is the absolute best tool for collecting wood in the mountains or forest. It's just the way it is. It's that much more efficient. You do that much less work. And that's what I would collect. And I would collect a dozen of these, and again, 2 at a time. If my fire pit was smaller, like this fire pit here, I might cut these in half. But that's only going to work if I have a superbly built shelter, like a super shelter, or if the temperatures aren't that cold. On a day like today, in the middle of summer in August, out here in the boreal forest, I don't care about that at all because the conditions are beautiful and I don't have to worry about it. And I might only need a fire for morale. All right, so what I want to talk about now is sawing an actual log. In this case, this is about a 10-centimeter log. You'll notice it's a poplar tree, it's off the ground, and it's fully seasoned. That's why you see the gray length. And what I'm doing is I'm cutting on elbow to fingertip length for a winter fire. And see, this 10-centimeter log will last about an hour, and that's what it's going to do. If it's bigger, like as you get down this log, we might get into 20 or even 30-centimeter logs, and those will last significantly longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to saw through this now. So there's the log there, 10 centimeters. A log like this will cut through with a quarter of the calories it did for an axe. So this is why a saw is so efficient for collecting this stuff. And this is light and nice. I know this is going to be good wood. I can throw this over my shoulder and head back to camp. So there's your steps. A dozen pencil finger and thumb thick sticks. That's my first collection. Then a dozen wrist thick sticks, a dozen fist thick sticks, and a dozen leg thick sticks. That's my base fire. After that, I need the wood to actually last the night. Effectively, that's a waist-high pile of firewood, right? So a waist-high pile of firewood is a lot of wood, and it probably will take you 2 or 3 hours to collect that much wood. Effectively, when we're doing that, it's out and it's a collection, but it does make a difference, and it means you're going to sleep well because you'll be warm. That's how it's going to go. Effectively, when you work back and forth from that, that's how you go. Collect that wood. So that's your wood collection. And again, all the time, we're putting in 2 logs at a time and we're feeding the fire. So whatever the fire is, whether you've started it by hand, so to speak, using fire sticks or shavings or whatever, or you'll do my more preferred method out here in this forest, where I'll always use, which is using a twig bundle. Once the fire is going, the 36 pencil finger and thumb thick sticks go on, and then once they're started to burn, you immediately start in with wrist thick sticks 2 at a time. Once they're going, then you start with fist thick sticks. As you go on a longer fire pit, the fire will spread out as you go. The pencil finger and thumb thick sticks will tend to be small. By the time you get to fist or leg thick sticks, they'll be elbow to fingertip. And that's what will get your fire going. It will spread your coal base out, and it'll make sure you survive stranded in the boreal forest. So I hope you learned something today. Hope you understand a little bit more about the wood collection, but understand that to do it, I need the proper tools. I use my knife, I use my baton, I used a saw, and I used a set of leather gloves. That's the tools I use to make sure I could collect all this stuff properly. And again, this is only a fraction of the wood I'd actually need. I got a wood pile back there as I'm starting to collect more. So if I have to spend the night, I'd be out here for a few more hours collecting all the wood. If you like this useful life-saving knowledge on this channel, please follow this channel and like this video. Watch other videos on this channel and follow me at the Boreal Wilderness Institute on Facebook. And remember, if you're stranded out here in the wilderness, just stop and survive.